guys, I'm Heidi, welcome back to my channel. So I've again been extremely busy with work, and I haven't really had much time for posting videos. But I came to see my parents in South Estonia for the weekend, and I am just about to start heading back. But I thought that before I do that, I would give you just a quick update on the books that I'm currently reading. Because I have been quite busy recently, but I have also been reading quite a lot. So yeah, I just thought that I would talk a little bit about some of the books that I'm currently reading. So I am still reading A Brief History of Seven Killings by Marlon James, which is centered on the assassination attempt on Bob Marley in the 1970s. And it is an extremely long book. It is around 800 pages, and it is not the easiest book to read. But I have owned the hardback version of it ever since it first came out, which I think was back in 2014 or 15, and it also won the Booker around that time. So I've been basically meaning to read this for the longest time, and I finally picked it up, and I'm almost done. I've read around 80% or so. So I'm going to finish it very soon. It is definitely a book that is so unique. I don't think it's unlike any other book I've read, apart from maybe Black Leopard Red Wolf by Marlon James. But that one is also kind of stylistically it's different. It's got a different theme, and it uses different imagery. The style is somewhat similar in those two books, so I think Black Leopard Red Wolf is probably the book that resembles A Brief History of Seven Killings the most. But I do think that Marlon James does have a very unique voice. And it's the kind of book that is probably not for everyone. I've read some of the reviews on Goodreads, and I've realized that quite a lot of people feel intimidated by the language. It does use quite a lot of Jamaican patois, which is especially spoken by some of the gang members, from whose perspective some of the book is also written. And I can say that it's honestly not that bad. And this is coming from someone who is not a native English speaker. I did make use of something called the Jamaican Patois Dictionary for some words. But overall, it's not that bad. It doesn't really, it hasn't impacted my reading experience in any way. I can understand more or less all of it. So if this is something that you feel intimidated by, I would just say don't, because it's really not that bad. And overall, I am very much enjoying it. It is extremely long, as I said, but I am hoping to finish it quite soon. And Marlon James has definitely become, I wouldn't say that he's my favorite author, but he's definitely an author I would like to keep an eye on in the future as well. I'm also currently reading The Sympathizer. I'm not going to try and pronounce the author's name because I will inevitably get it wrong, but this is the September pick for the Genre Readers Book Club. We're reading literary fiction this month, and this book is centered on the Vietnam War. We follow a captain in the South Vietnamese army who is secretly a spy for the communists. And at the beginning of the book, he has been captured, I guess. He's in prison, and he is telling his captors his story. I'm not really that far into it, so I don't really have that much to say about it yet, other than that I have been enjoying the writing style so far, and it does seem like a book worth picking up if you're at all interested in sort of award-winning books, or maybe books centered around the Vietnam War, which I personally don't really know much about. So I'm quite excited to continue with this book. I'm also currently reading Shards of Time by Lynn Flewelling, which is the 7th and final book in the Night Runner series. And again, we follow Alec and Sergil, who are spies and rogues and thieves, and they go on various adventures. I don't really have that much to say about this yet. Other than that, it is quite enjoyable, just like the 6th book. I think the sixth book, Casket of Souls, was actually the best in the series so far. It had everything from political intrigue to spying to sneaking around, and it had an interesting antagonist. So yeah, I do feel like Casket of Souls was very, very good. And this one has a kind of a locked room mystery in it. So I'm excited to see how it all works out in the end. And yeah, I do have to say that I've had such a good time reading this whole series, and I'm glad that I decided to join in the read along. So yeah, I will definitely be finishing this in September. I'm also sort of currently reading Fool's Fate by Robin Hobb, and I'm not really that far into it, and I haven't read it in a long time. I think I first picked it up sometime back in August, and I haven't really progressed at all. I find that with sometimes with Robin Hobb books that whenever I do pick them up, I'm enjoying them. Because they are extremely well written, and Robin Hobb is definitely one of my favorite fantasy authors. But at the moment, I'm picking up everything else other than Fool's Fate. So yeah, it's also the conclusion to the Tawny Man series, which has been a very good read. Fitz and the Fool are very interesting characters. I have to say they're not my favorite characters. My favorite series so far from the realm of the Elderlings has been the Live Ship Traders trilogy. But the Tawny Man is also very, very good, and I am quite excited to see how the Tawny Man series will end. So I am hoping to finish this either in September, or if not in September, then hopefully in October. I'm also sort of currently reading Põrgupõhja Vanapagan by Anton Hansen Tammsaare, which is The Misadventures of the New Satan by Anton Hansen Tammsaare, which is an Estonian classic, and it is about a folkloric Satan-like character who comes to Earth, and he clashes with a sort of a trickster character who is constantly more clever than he is. So yeah, I've wanted to read this for a long time. It's Anton Hansen Tammsaare is one of the greatest Estonian writers of all time, and I hadn't yet read that one by him, so I really wanted to pick it up, and I've read only maybe around 20 or 30 pages, but it is very enjoyable. It touches on various themes from the kind of societal perspective, as Tammsaare usually does. So yeah, and it's not a very long book at all. It's maybe around 250-ish pages. So I will definitely be finishing this in September. And I'm also looking forward to reading Empire of the Vampire by J. Kristoff. I haven't got it yet, but I have ordered it, so I will be receiving it soon. That one is a vampire book, and I had kind of mixed feelings about Nevernight, which I read by J. Kristoff quite recently. It was okay, it wasn't amazing, but apparently Empire of the Vampire is a very adult book. And it does seem perfect for the autumn season, which I'm also very excited about. Because autumn is usually very beautiful in Estonia. It's so colorful, and I love the whole atmosphere of it. So I'm quite excited about, in general, about autumn and about the autumn reading season. So yeah, I'm hoping to pick that one up as well. So yeah, these are all the books that I'm currently reading. I finished quite a lot of books in July and August as well, and I will try and do a wrap-up about them at some point. But if you're interested in seeing the kind of books that I'm reading, then I am recording everything on my Goodreads page, so go and check it out. And yeah, I hope you guys are all doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!